So hi, I'm Darren. I'm about roughly 50% through the DE program. And my topic for this year's poster session, the 2020 Doctoral Symposium, is Restorative Justice Across Three Worlds. So that's the project title I had last year, but this is further to that project. This is talking specifically about teaching psychological flexibility to improve restorative justice mediations in a school setting. So for those of you who know me, I find it exceptionally difficult to get this done in under 5 minutes, so I'm going to stay on task. So this is our research question. We want to know if the outcomes of restorative justice mediations, victim offender mediations, as we used to call them, can improve, or it's going to be better if we teach acceptance and commitment therapy, teaching psychological flexibility. So really quickly, psychological flexibility is a big straightforward in cognitive behavioral therapy. It's different from CBT, and it doesn't delineate cognitive restructuring. So we don't think of thoughts as good or bad and categorize those thoughts. We teach someone how to live with their thoughts and how to make the best of them. And restorative justice mediations is bringing two people together to come with a cooperative solution that both people are agreeable to. So this is part of a larger design-based research project. So typically design-based research is done in the academics, but we're starting to use it more in social emotional. Actually, I'm the only one who's using it right now that I know of, but we found this tremendously valuable. So we keep refining our intervention until we get what we want. Instead of publishing a study, going back, starting over again, this is much more efficient. But these could be really long, so sometimes our journal articles and journals will not publish them because they're so long. It's the only downside. So with this, we use single subject verification. So we're using single case design to verify each step along the way. We use 6 AB reversals, 2 range bound changing criterion, and we're also doing treatments design, and actually one multiple baseline as well. I threw it here at the last second. So our participants were 2 elementary students. They were both African American. One was male and one was female. One was actually a kindergarten student. The other was a 5th grade student. Our independent variables were ACT, acceptance and commitment therapy, victim offender mediation, and also the behavior change stairway model, which I don't have time to get into here. But that's the FBI's hostage negotiation protocols. Our dependent measure was the number of documented and observed behaviors associated with the cognitions, which I'll try to explain here in a minute. And then our experimental designs are, the formation ones are there as well. This is actually the 4th iteration of the study that I built upon last year. So these are our 2 graphs for our 2 participants in this study. So there's a lot of important things to notice here. First thing I want to draw attention to is the top graph. So this is the ACT intervention. This is a one-on-one clinical behavior analysis. And these are AB reversal designs. So we start here with baseline. And then we go to the intervention, we see significant change, and we go back and forth. So because we can turn this behavior on and off, this is a demonstration of experimental control, which highly suggests that our teaching was responsible for successful behavior. You see the same phenomenon over here with participant number 2. Now, the interesting thing down here is there's a percentage of correct participation in victim offender mediations. So you can see here clearly, as our teaching went on, teaching psychological flexibility, how to manage your thoughts, they got better and better at victim offender mediations. And this bottom here is a demonstration of a functional relationship, which the top graph says it's highly likely. This says it's moderately likely that our teaching was responsible for their success. So quickly go here to iteration 5. So we took one of those students from that study and followed her for another year. This time we used acceptance and commitment therapy, victim offender mediation, the behavior change stairway model, FBI hostage negotiation. And we also used the SAFER model of critical incident stress management. And we were again tracking behaviors associated with an inner cognition. Those graphs are here. So direct your attention over here to the right. So again, we have AB reversal. So when we do the intervention, we see the change in behavior. When we don't use the intervention, they do not. So experimental control is demonstrated. These top 2 graphs are what we call direct training. So we teach the student to use a certain skill, and they meet that criterion. But this bottom here is called is derived relational responding, or a combinatorial mutual entailment. This is learning through inference. So this is her learning without any direct training or instruction. And we see a smaller reversal here. But this is something that today has only been shown to be in humans. We haven't demonstrated this in any other animals yet, like other behaviors. So this graph here to the left is an alternating treatment design. Let's go back. So this is our baseline here. This is her percentage of time on task in class in a 60-minute reading or math block. Then we compare two treatments. This is the typical behavior, typical punitive system we see in schools, where you said her behavior did not improve at all. In fact, if we consider the sequence effects, it probably got a little bit worse. And this here is the more humane approach, the FBI hostage negotiation and the restorative justice combined. So one intervention was superior to the other, and then the follow-up showed evidence accordingly. Now, I'll probably never get a chance to do this again, because we almost never alternate experiments between something that we know is harmful and something that we know is helpful. But the school was so adamant about keeping their punitive system in place in some partiality that we were able to do that. So to go back to our original research question, did the mediations improve as we taught the children psychological flexibility? Well, possibly. It certainly looks that way, but the reciprocal could also be true. So does teaching children cognitive flexibility make them a better mediator, or does teaching them how to be a mediator make them more cognitively flexible? It's an interesting dynamic and something we're starting to tackle in the research world, but people in real life don't care. They just want something that works. So this is our study we're working on now. This is not published yet, like the other three. But this is a continuation of what we did from the last slide. So this is a multiple baseline design. And these are 3 schools. And this is documented incidents or reports of violence, either verbal or physical violence. So you can see school 1 here, implementing the intervention, follow up. So we got them from 15 to 16.0 or 1. You see a similar trend here and a similar trend here. So again, because we demonstrate a measured behavior change, it's fairly likely that our teaching was responsible. And what's interesting about this is that we had no tier 2 interventions here. We had the good behavior game at tier 1, and then we focused on the most violent kid in the whole school, which is a very complicated intervention, which I'm running out of time here. So if you have any questions, send me an email. I'd be happy to talk to you more about this stuff. Thank you for your time, and enjoy the rest of the symposium.